What's up everybody, Renfell here, and I am back with another Baldur's Gate 3 game guide. And today we're specifically focusing on the build guide for sort of an all-around thief type character, a rogue who's going to be the jack of all trades person in your group, who's good at picking locks, disarming traps, sneaking around, deceiving people, good at sleight of hand, good at a lot of different things. It's not necessarily going to be a max DPS character for your group, but you want him in your party because of all of the cool things they bring to the table in terms of getting around unseen and getting you lots of extra things with chests and locks and doors and everything else. So that's what this is all about, how to build that character. Now, if you've watched any of my previous guides, you know that I don't necessarily show combat in these. If you want to see this in action, here's the way this is going down. This is airing on Sunday, the 23rd of July, and the launch is just around the corner. We are starting a rogue playthrough through early access on the 24th. So if you want to see this particular build in action, make sure you tune into live streams in the week coming up after this recording, because we will be playing this as the last of our early access characters before the game goes live, and then we're switching over to the druid to play the druid through. Now, anybody who's been around my channel for a long time knows that the very first character I ever took through early access was a rogue. I did a halfling back then, or it might have been a human actually. It's been a while, it's been a few years. And I've since done some guides around it, but I haven't done a playthrough for everyone. So that's what we're going to be doing, is we're building this character here in this video, and then we're going to be playing this character through in those live streams. So make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so that you never miss an update as we continue to play Baldur's Gate 3 and do all the other things that we do here on our streams and channel. Check out the Discord as well. Without further ado, let's get in here. So I've got some stuff already set up, and I just kind of want to walk people through my thought process here. So one of the first important things I think for creating this particular build is to go with the charlatan background, because it gives you those additional proficiencies in deception and sleight of hand, which are good for two things. Deception, of course, being conversations and manipulating people in certain ways to get the most out of conversations, and sleight of hand, because sleight of hand is what governs lockpicking, disarming traps, anything nimble with the fingers, pickpocketing, and so on and so forth, which I'm not doing right now because I've got a sprained finger. But we could do it through the game. I've also got some other proficiencies in acrobatics, perception, deception, performance, persuasion, which we'll go over here in a little bit as we go through here. There are two races that I consider to be the best for a all-around jack of all trades rogue, and really it's just going to depend on, do you want to be short and be a goodie, or do you want to be average height and not be a goodie? Because you can either be a drow or you can look at the halflings, specifically looking at the lightfoot halfling, because they get a dex bonus and a charisma bonus, which is really good for those conversations. I like the Seldarine drow because you're not inherently evil, but you get that plus dex, plus 1 charisma, plus I have proficiencies with rapiers, short swords, hand bows, dark vision, fey ancestry, and I have a bigger racial speed bonus than the halfling. However, I'm not accepted in all the places the halflings are, so I'm going to have a little bit more of a challenging time when it comes to conversations in certain areas, because people have prejudices against the drow. So there are pros and cons to these that you need to consider when you're rolling your character. But those are the two races I would highly recommend when you're looking at putting together your jack of all trades rogue. Now, getting into the class, of course, is just the generic rogue. And then here's what I've chosen for abilities. I've got 10 strength, 17 dex, 14 constitution, 10 intelligence, 10 wisdom, and 14 charisma. I'm going to be doing a lot of conversation stuff, so I want as many bonuses as I can out of charisma, but I also want to have my dex as high as possible to avoid getting hit and be able to do the most damage with those finesse type weapons, or ranged if I need to. A little bit of a hit point bonus with constitution is a really good idea, and I don't really need strength because I'm not going to be carrying anything around, because I'm going to leave that to other people in the party or camp storage, things of that nature. So this works for me. These are the stats that I think work for the way that I'm creating this character to be played. Now, beyond that, you can go over to the skills tab, and this is where you kind of have a little bit of room to play around with if you want to. So these are sort of some of the things that you get inherent benefits from. Did I click a different? Hold that thought. No, we're good there. I was looking at why did it say I had a bonus because of acrobatics. We're actually going to get rid of that bonus here in a second. I am going to tweak this a little bit. So the skills with proficiency, you have 4. I've got 2 that are inherited from my background, sleight of hand and deception, and I got a perception bonus because of my racial, which is awesome for traps and stuff. Now you have some essentially. You could move this acrobatics to somewhere else if you wanted to. Move the insight to somewhere else. Move it to investigation, or we could go into stealth. I am going to go into stealth. I don't care about an acrobatics bonus, so I'm going to put this into stealth here, which is going to give me a +5 bonus in stealth. Because again, I am creating a jack of all trades build here, so I want to be able to sneak around. I want to be able to deceive people in conversations. I want to be able to pick locks, pick locks, disarm traps, open doors, all those things. I had to make sure I wasn't doing a tongue twister there. So we're going to move that down from acrobatics to stealth. Now, also, skills with expertise right here. I'm also going to I'm taking sleight of hand for sure, and I'm probably going to go ahead and take stealth, which right now is +5, but that'll give us a +7. So we're +7 sleight of hand, which is picking locks and pockets and disarming traps, and the stealth, which helps us get around. Now, if I really want more in the deception line for conversations, if I had to pick an area, and this is just me giving you more options. What's up, everybody? Quick commercial break here to give it a shout out to our guild champions, who are the highest tier memberships here on YouTube. Ancient Entity, Assassin Gamer 94, Bubbleonia Rising, Crazy's Relative, Mujin, and Remedy. Thanks so much for the highest tier membership. And thanks to all of the members who support the channel, because you keep me doing this full time. You too can become a supporter if you're new here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. Join as a member. There's 3 different tiers. We do lots of special stuff, private polls, private videos. You get a shout out if you're the highest tier membership, but you can also do one-off donations in the form of super chats on any live stream or premiere you see, and of course super thanks on any upload or YouTube short. Whatever you can contribute, it's great. Keeps me on the air full time, keeps the cats fed, keeps the homestead running. Anyway, back to the video, everybody. If I had to pick a skill with expertise that I didn't need and I wanted deception instead, I would take it out of stealth and put it up in deception, because the number one thing for me is going to be sleight of hand. I need to be able to get the best rolls possible when I'm disarming traps and opening locks and things of that nature, because oftentimes, especially if you've seen like the hag fighter or you're down in the swamp areas and stuff, traps often do AoE stuff, and so being able to go in there and quickly and easily disarm those without needing to use thieves tools, without needing to use a ton of inspiration burns to get through the difficulties is key to be able to make sure your group gets safely through a lot of these dangerous environments. So you want that, in my opinion, you want that sleight of hand skill as high as possible. Stealth, honestly, stealth helps, but given the fact that you can see the when you go into stealth, you can see the red and you can see what the enemy sees with their POV, with their point of view. The hiding just means you can have a higher success rate. You can actually get into the red and still remain hidden if your rolls are high enough. So if that's kind of important, but if you're going to be using POV to get around a lot, it's less important. So this is where I say, I might actually, at the end of the day, as I'm sitting here talking about it, I think I'm going to go put that point into deception so that I can get their skills, because my stealth is already at +5, +7 sleight of hand, +6 deception. I'm pretty happy with the way that that looks right there. So for my money's worth, that's really what I'm going to be looking at here for my rogue build. So this is the quick and easy ultimate version of creating this character, so that if you want a jack of all trades type rogue, you could sneak around, do all the traps, do all the doors, pickpocket things. Damage is going to be a little bit dependent on your placement in combat and whether or not you're using stealth attack and using advantage to your advantage. I know that's a mouthful. Whether or not you're doing ranged versus melee, what kind of weapons you have, and all these other things. We will be covering sneak attack and stealth attacks in another video, because it's a little different here than it is in 5th edition, because you don't have all the things with flanking that you do like in Solasta. It's very much based on advantage here, so we're going to be diving into that into a different video. But also, don't forget, if you want to watch me play this character through early access in the final week before the Baldur's Gate 3 launch, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update, because we're going to be going through and playing all the way through. Anyway, folks, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Stay safe and happy gaming.